Hello, quilting friends. I'm so happy to be here with you today. It is a gorgeous fall day, finally. We've had gorgeous days, but they weren't really fall. We get all the color because I get all the leaves, but it's been in the 80s. So today we had rain, so I'm feeling kind of deep today. But the sun finally came out and it's now a season appropriate temperature. It is sweater weather, and that makes me so happy because I love fall. I'm wearing a sweater. There we go with all the little stripies on it. It just feels very autumnal now. Hi, Cindy. It's good to see you. And hello, Susan. I'm glad you're here. So it is Wednesday. I can move my Facebook Lives back to Tuesday because my commitment to teaching on Tuesdays has ended. So I will be here next Tuesday at 2:30 New York time. I'm really bad with time zones, so you'll have to figure it out. Hi, Madeline and Joan. Hello. And knit and crochet. Hi, everyone. I'm glad to see you. So, what am I doing this fall? I just put out a blog post that shows what I did in September. And I didn't do a lot in September as far as what I finished or what I accomplished or what I did for work, because I was gone the first 10 days of September on vacation and home for a couple of days and got hit with COVID. So I didn't get a lot accomplished. Let me see what I can pull up to show you. And if you ever want to read what I'm up to, you can go to my blog, which is at debbiebrownquilts.com. There's a big button that says blog. So you can just hit that. And let me open up one more thing that I did in September. Where is it? It should be here. There it is. Okay, let me share it with you. Window. Okay, the first thing I finished was I finished machine quilting and putting the video up of how to quilt Shining Brightly. Now I'm listening to a long fantasy series. It's the Mistborn saga. And so I decided to stitch custom quilting on this quilt instead of quick get it done quilting, because I had a long book to listen to and several more long books to continue to listen to. But I really love the way this quilt came out. If you're interested in downloading the free pattern, you can go to Debbie Brown Quilts. Click the online classes button. It's right up at the top. And this is in Color Blocks Volume 5, 2025. The pattern in join the class, it's free. And even if it's not free later, once you're in for free, you're in forever. So you get the free pattern and the video on how to quilt it, the tutorial on how to quilt it as well. So that's one thing I finished. Let's see, is it going to let me show another? No. Okay, let's try another one. Window. Another thing I finished was this pumpkin quilt, and that doesn't look very finished. Let me find a finished picture of it. That was just the top I showed you. Here we go. I'll open that up. So in August, I was at a quilt retreat. It's a boocation, sewing with my ghoulies. So that was in Connecticut with some of my oldest quilt friends, like from 30 years ago, and then new quilt friends as well. And Maria runs the Sew-cations, and she had a variety of kits there, and everybody got to pick a kit to make. And I picked this one because, number one, I'm not a huge Halloween decorator. I mean, I love the bright colors, but I'm just not into Halloween decorating. And these fabrics are all Daiwobo taupe fabrics, which are yummy. Because why spend $14 on a yard of fabric when you can spend $30? This is kind of my view of quilting. So I I cut all of these individual squares in this quilt, sewed them back together, and then, after the fever broke in COVID, but I was still feeling terrible, my husband helped me, into the sewing room and helped me gather my supplies and, stood nearby while I was basting it because I wasn't standing very well, and then I moved over to my sewing machine and was able to do a quick walking foot crosshatch quilt on this. So I did finish this up in September as well, and it's living on the back of my sofa. Now, next week, I am getting a visit from my daughter and her wife and the baby, which is fabulous. Like, fabulous. I'm so excited to have the baby here. It's going to be his first time at grandma's house. And they'll be here for days, so it'll be lovely. But my daughter-in-law loves Halloween and she loves quilts. So we'll see if the quilt is still here when she leaves. She has my permission to steal, but right now it's on the sofa. So I finished that. And I think the only other thing I finished in September, and I have this all in a recent blog post, was the Pop Baby Cardigan by Rachel Atkinson, made from Big Bad Wool Weepaca, and the color is Fair Hope. So I started making this quilt 3 different times, had to keep ripping it out. And finally, I was out of town at the end of the month after I recovered enough from COVID that I wasn't contagious anymore. I had to go support my mom while my sister was away. So I started making this at my sister's house and needed to finish it up because baby's going to be growing into that sweater. So this is here waiting for my grandson to come visit. And then I have a really cute pair of Oshkosh overalls and a plaid button down, no, a gingham button down shirt. So he's kind of has his fall outfit going. But that's what I finished in September. Wasn't really a lot. Thank you. I thought it was really cute too. The 10-day vacation, fabulous. Wait, was there another thing I finished in September? Hold on. Hold on. Yes, there was. Here's another one. This might have been October, though. We'll see. No, this was September. Let me come and share this with you. So I made a scarf. And when I go to Pittsburgh to hang out with my mom, because my sister lives near my mom, and when my sister travels, I go replace my sister. And I replace my sister with our mom. I replace my sister in her house. I replace my sister with her dog. So I made, whenever I go to Pittsburgh, I make sure I go to the local yarn store there, which is called Yarn Bits and Bobs. And they had this lovely cake. And they have fun words in yarn world. So I was there for a yarn crawl, which is like a shop hop, but I didn't know it. So I walked in and there was this big party. And then I saw a cake of yarn, and it was gradated from dark orange, like a gold orange, into light yellow, into white, into gray, into black. And it made a beautiful scarf. And I had to buy it because I was in Pittsburgh and those are Pittsburgh sport colors. So I did finish that one. And everyone at church was waiting to see it. They follow me on social media and saw what I had made. Now, I live near West Point, the United States Military Academy, and we have a lot of West Point families in our church. And one of the moms there said, "Oh, you would make bank selling these at West Point." And I'm like, cost of materials plus time invested plus marketing to military families, I will not make bank. But if someone wants, if a friend of mine wants one, I would gladly make it for them. But that was a really fun one to make. And I had to pull out a nice pair of yellow Fluvogs and a bright yellow Hello Kitty purse and just totally get the outfit going. But that was a fun finish. Let's see what else. I think I just posted a finish on my blog today. Let's see what's up. Come back here. I've lost track of days just because I was on vacation. Oh, so that the baby cardigan was not from September. That was from October. Oh, well. But the buttons on there are super duper cute. Let me share those with you. Because that blog post just went up. And my blogs have all the details of what it is that I'm finishing. So where am I? I'm here. I'm sharing this. Okay. So this blog post went up this afternoon. And so you can see I made the pop cardigan. Look at those buttons. Aren't they adorable? They're cats. They're just so cute. My grandson has a couple cats, so it seemed very appropriate. Let me come back. Did I not share that with you? Yes, I did. I can stop sharing now. So hello. So that's what I finished in September. Now, for those of you who are new, I try to keep all of my finishes. Where's my card? I try to keep all of my projects on a card. Where did I put my card? My card's on the floor. Hold on a second. Stretch. Oh no, it went flying across the room. Hold on, trying to catch the card. In order to not have too many works in progress at a time, I try to fit all my projects on an index card. And I got 10 lines. So I try to have fewer than 10 projects. I have failed miserably because right now, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I have 18 on here, and I'm about to add a 19th. Let's see. Knit hat. Okay. So the pink are the ones that I've already finished this month. So there's 19 on here, but I've already finished 3. So that's a start. The buttons are perfect. I thought so too. They're just so cute. And I have a story on the blog about making the sweater. So I bought the yarn before my grandson was born. And then I started making it 3 times. And then I started making it again at my sister's house. And then when I was working on it, I got up and I couldn't finish. I got to about here and got the whole sweater done except for one sleeve. I'm like, oh no, I ran out of yarn. So I had to go back to the yarn shop, which is about 45 minutes south of here, my girlfriend's shop down, Pick Up Every Stitch in Mount Kisco, New York. And I went and I bought a $13 ball of yarn that somehow cost me $150. I don't know, this might be Mayak yarn. It happens in knitting as well as in quilting. You go in for just that one spool of thread and you come out a couple $100 later. But isn't that gorgeous? This is one of my in progress items. This is my desk knitting. So on the days that I don't get into the sewing room, I at least get to do a little knitting at my desk. And my desk is the kitchen table, just because I like being in the kitchen. So other things I have going on, I'm machine quilting a quilt. It's a snowball fight quilt. It's a primitive gatherings pattern made with my fabrics from my own stash. So I'm machine quilting that. That video will be on YouTube when it's done. I'm knitting a waterfall cardigan, which I'm not knitting a waterfall cardigan because it's in timeout right now. But I started it, so it has to stay on the card till it's done. It is my size, which is very large. It is in yarn that's about this big fingering weight. It's on a size 2 needle and it's in black. And if you knit, you'll know that all of those things mean I hate myself because it is like the most painful thing to do. So I'm almost done with the shaping on the bottom, but it's a timeout for now. I'll finish it. Once I finish this sweater, I'll go work on that one again. I haven't touched the placemats. I'm doing some English paper piecing placemats. I have a quilt top that I finished that's still on the card. That's a checkerboard. I have a cutie pattern that's called Lemon Bars. That quilt top is finished waiting. I bought yardage on vacation for a quilt for my sister that she liked. Haven't started that. It's on the card. I pulled out a quilt top called Bloom, a Lori Holt quilt top that I hand appliqued. And I want to start her Honeybee, her new quilt along, because it's just gorgeous. But in my world, I have to finish the old one first. I have to finish the old one to be allowed to make the new one. So that's out for me to quilt. What else is on here? I bought 2 sewing patterns, one for a top, one for a dress. So that's on here. I bought more yarn that's for socks that I didn't start yet. I finished a pair of socks that the yarn is called Blacklight Elvis. And I did make them up really quickly because it's fall and my feet get cold. I have one of those autoimmune things that my fingers and toes get cold, more so my toes. Um, Although at the movies the other night, I took an extra pair of socks with me in case my feet got really cold and ended up wearing them on my hands because my fingers were so cold. But these are nice thick wool socks. The yarn color is Blacklight Elvis, and it's supposed to work under a black light. Haven't tried it yet, but I did finish the socks. And then I bought the yarn for this rocket tee. It's just rocket, ROCK, rock it. So this is the neck. This is the back of the neck going down. I started a new leader and ender project. Just sewing together some 2-inch squares. And I will be making knit hats. My church has a homeless ministry that they wanted some hats, and I have some yarn. So that is 19 projects. Here's the problem. I got a package in the mail yesterday of things that I had bought knowingly. So I'm a big Primitive Gatherings fan. And I bought a tote bag of theirs that's a shopping bag that a couple times a year you get to fill the shopping bag at a discount. And I get to do that virtually since I don't live near Primitive Gatherings. They're in Wisconsin. I'm in New York. So I just emptied my wish list. So I bought this cider and spice pattern. You can make it 60 by 60 or then add a border around it for 90 by 90. It's a fabulous pattern. I think I need to make this as a baby quilt for 60 by 60. This may end up on the list, throwing me over 20. They have a series of weekend quilts. So I bought this 2-color pattern. This is 68 by 68. Looks like it would be fun. This is a jelly roll weekend quilt pattern of theirs. And here's the one. I'm really excited, but I'm not going to let myself make it yet. I want to make this, but I want to quilt it and then put a little color in the quilting. So I want to make it black, white, and gray, just like this, but I want to throw a little bit of like lime green or hot pink or something in the quilting of it, just to give it a little interest. So I'm really excited about making that quilt. And oh darn, I might have bought another book too. So this is Urban Patchwork Gatherings. Lisa writes a book of patterns for each of her fabric lines, and I don't have them all yet. So I just throw one in whenever I get a discount. So this one looked fun. What was the quilt I wanted to make out of here? Like all of them is the problem. Like that one. Isn't that gorgeous? That's all done in little strips. So yeah. Some of those are going to get added to my card. That card is getting full. I am a card failure. I got something else new yesterday as well. I'm a big Skinny Taste cookbook person. So yesterday was release day. Got a new cookbook. I already have it tabbed out. Pretty excited about making some pretty simple meals. That's my boring life. What else do I have to tell you? So I told you what was new. I told you what I finished. I showed you what was in process, and I talked about the card. So the rest of life is just catching up on color blocks and YouTube videos and things since I was sick and lost a lot of time. I'm still losing time because I'm going to take a nap when I'm done here. So I'm doing a lot better. I'm not contagious, but healing takes some energy out of me. Right now, the largest quilt show in the United States is taking place, and it's in Houston, and I'm not there. I was there every year from 2006 to 2019. About 10 of those years, I was teaching at the festival. But it's a huge festival, and I stopped going. I taught there virtually during the pandemic years, and then my health took a toll, and now I'm not very mobile. So whenever I got COVID, I survived it after the initial mutations down, but it left me with one of my legs is paralyzed and it's hard walking and things like that. So I'm not there. I'm okay with it, kind of. But next week is the largest knitting show in the United States, and that happens to be in my county. And that's why my daughter and her wife are coming to visit, because they're both hardcore knitters. And it's at the fairgrounds. It's at our county fairgrounds. So I think my husband's going to have to come and push me in a wheelchair, and the girls will have the baby in a stroller, or I'll have the baby on my lap in the wheelchair with my husband pushing me, and then we'll have the stroller full of yarn. We'll figure it out. So all things knitting are taking place for us because it's yarn festival season. And then there are satellite events while uh, as people are flying into New York City, the teachers are flying in. They do meet and greets and have special events. And there's little satellite things that pop up. So we'll be doing some of those as well. So I promise I'm still a quilter, but it's knitting week right now. So there's a lot of knitting going on. I need to put together a pattern for color blocks. I have several. This year is all baby quilts, so I'll have to write another one of those. And then I have some YouTube videos to put out. So as I am finally getting back to life, I'm still behind on shipping orders. I'm still behind on contracts and things like that. But I'm catching up and moving on. But how lovely it is. If I have to miss Houston, the biggest quilting show in the United States, that I get to go to the biggest knitting show in the United States in my home county, and then have my grandson's first visit to grandma's house at the same time. So my life is wonderful. I'm behind on everything and I'm tired, and I'm not contagious, so it's fine. But even with all of that, my life is so perfect, it's hard to imagine. So hopefully I'll have some more content out for you next week. I think I have more blog content coming out. What do I have? So the sweater just went out today. And on Friday, I think the socks will go out. What day did the socks? No, the socks will go out on Monday. That pumpkin quilt I showed you, that's going to go out on Friday. So there'll be more content coming out in social media, but I need to finish more things to catch you up. Cindy, size 2 needles, black, oversized waterfall cardigan in my size. I hate myself. Absolutely hate myself. Apparently, it's just really tough on the vision. Which is why it's in timeout for a while. And I'm knitting something that might be finishable, even though this is fingering yarn. It's on a size 6 or 5, which makes it much more doable than 2. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. I'm still working on getting better and working on catching up, as I always seem to be. Thank you for your patience and support. Thank you for your love. I will be back again next week on Tuesday, where this belongs. And so I will see you Tuesday at 2:30 New York time. And until I see you, keep in touch. I'm at Debbie Brown Quilts on all social media. So you'll see things that I've finished, things that are in process, weird things that are happening. And then I'll be back live again next Tuesday at 2:30 New York time. And until then, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and happy quilting.